So yeah, the weekend happened, and yeah, sorry I wasn't able to, cover a lot of the Super Saturday shenanigans because I was doing other things. I wanted to do other things. I wanted to take a little breather, which is convenient timing, all things considered, considering there was so much happening when it came to national final season. Specifically, we had 3 brand new songs come out in the form of, see if I can remember the things, Belgium, Slovenia, and Spain, or one of those countries we'll get onto in just a moment, given the slight thing that's happened when it comes to their particular entrant, which is their singer is called Clemen, I think. Yeah, Clemen, who's performing a song with a really long title, but apparently he's very well established in Slovenia. He's very well known. He's kind of like the... I can't think of a specific person from Western side, but he's a very well-known Slovenian person and a very well-known Slovenian music artist, and yeah, finally gets his chance to represent Slovenia on the Eurovision stage. So he thought, in all innocent stuff, that that he would do something that to basically recreate all of the winners' performances from when they performed it in similar guises, similar outfits, similar impersonations of each particular one. Which, I mean, that's fine if you want to impersonate other people. Just make sure you know certain connotations before you do that, as far as some people in the Western world is concerned. I don't personally have a problem with it. I'm just saying some people really do have a bit of a problem with it. But, on the other hand, you also had the situation in Sweden whereby they had their first heat of Melodifestivalen 2025. And while there was no issues with the acts per se, there was a little introduction skit. Well, if you know their sort of sense of humour as far as Sweden's, as far as their dark sense of humour, if you like, is concerned, they tend to be a bit, kind of towards edginess without necessarily 100% crossing the line, when it comes to even just the, lightest of humour. When it comes to light entertainment type humour, even they want to go into dark edges. And sometimes it really does work. Well, more often than not, when it comes to Sweden, it really does work. I mean, they do a lot of innuendo, and for crying out loud, who doesn't remember the Grinder app joke from the actual contest? That was hilarious. The joke they did this time around regarding what had happened in the competition after the between the second semi-final and the final hasn't gone down too well, it has to be said, but we'll deal with Slovenia first, shall we? So yeah, this is Clement basically impersonating all of the winners of the Eurovision Song Contest from 2000 onwards, and you think initially when it comes to him impersonating the Olsen brothers winning song for Denmark in 2000, Fly on the Wings of Love, pretty innocuous, pretty harmful, they're just doing their strumming or anything else like that. Now, if you happen to remember who represented and won for Estonia in 2001, it was Dave Benton and Tavil Pada. I can't remember the actual name, but Dave Benton is the one you need to look out for here because he is of African descent. He moved over to Estonia for a long time to become an established musician, which he got to do so on the Eurovision stage and somehow win the whole entire thing with a fellow Estonian and a boy band called 2XL that just decided to do pirouettes. Somehow that won, but, everybody has their own unique taste, and everybody certainly won on that one. But all I'm going to say is, was this really, did you actually properly think this through when it came to, acknowledging certain other people's tastes in terms of humour? Because, look on the guy on the left. This is Clement performing as Dave Benton. I just want you to know what exactly he did. Yeah. I don't know about you, but, oof. That's... no. So look, in my opinion, I don't find it offensive, and I'll tell you what Dave Benton thinks of it in a moment. I'll tell you about it, but yeah, looking at the comparisons, in case you don't know, Clement is as white as me. He is as white as the no, he's a spade, so that's a stupid thing to say. But no, he's as white as plain as day as what Michael Jackson was later on in life. He is the whitest man you would know him to do. To do a similar blackish colour, well, maybe not black, but of a certain tone of blackness to perform as Dave Benton, to impersonate him, I mean, that'd be fine in the Western world if in the 1970s or 60s or something like that. Not so much today. I mean, I guess it's still fine in the Eastern European part of the world, especially in Slovenia, for example. I know Poland's sort of mostly fine with it. Hungary, I guess Ukraine to a certain degree. Georgia for sure. Definitely Russia. Those kinds of countries. So I think the intention was fine. Just learn that other people are not so pleased about it these days. But yeah, I'm going to... But the good news is, I'm just going to get rid of that now because I don't want to be controversial anymore. But the good news is Dave Benton himself has come out and saying he's fine with this. So as far as the controversy itself is concerned, while there was a little bit there, it kind of has evaporated, which is a relief. But also since then, he has re-uploaded the same video and blurred his face out. Basically like this. So yeah, I'm just like blurred out right now. So like, woo, that's a good test of how the AI works these days, isn't it? So yeah, now I'm going to unblur my face. There you go. So yeah, he's fine with it now. But I won't say that was the most controversial. It's an easy word for me to say. I won't say it was the most controversial thing to happen this weekend. Am I right, Sweden? So again, like with a lot of things on YouTube, I have to play snippets of these, and this is the perfect one coming from a YouTube channel called Euro Melody. So thank you very much for allowing to, more to the point, showcasing it to for the world to see. Because Sweden, as much as you get a lot of respect for actually producing good entries every year, I know you get jury votes, but you kind of do. I think this is going to lose you a little bit of cred. So, in case you need a gentle reminder of what on earth happened to Just Clean last year, he, according to official reports, physically attacked a camera woman from SVT because he didn't want to be... There's my cat going there. But he didn't want to be, like, shown, filmed a lot when it came to backstage stuff. And for... a skit for SVT, they decided to reenact it.
Och just. Nej. Nej, men inte igen.
Oj, vi får alltså detta nu höra att
I can't play that anymore. What I mean, I'm at a loss as to what on earth, like. Who was the brainchild that came up with the concept of even entertaining an idea such as that? I guess upon, further inspection of... I'll just get rid of that again. I suppose upon further inspection, it kind of looks goofy and a little bit, like, mental. But I don't know if you notice, when it came to the crowd reaction, there was hardly any reaction. Like, I don't think anyone in their right mind, if you happen to know the connotations and the context of what happened last year to Just Clean, I don't think anyone finds that funny. Unless you're absolutely sick in the head. The poor guy got arrested for crying out loud. He got actually put in a prison cell to... Well, not rot, but to wait there for 48 hours whilst everything was going around, and of course, for good measure, gets booted out of the grand final because he has to, because he gets arrested and for people's safety and all the rest of it. I'll leave that EBU for another time. That's a debate for another day. But even so, SVT, who came up with the idea, who greenlit it, and who said, yeah, that's fine even after a freaking rehearsal. We heard a rehearsal about it and we were like, no. And then they still did it anyway. So yeah, SVT, you're not exactly in anybody's good books right now. So if you thought the Eurovision controversy contest was about to maybe stop with a few withdrawals here and there and disqualifications, we ain't seen nothing yet apparently.